Hey guys, I'm Tom Tech Chap, and I want to show you this. It's the new LG QNED 86, their brand new 2022 4K QNED Mini LED TV. And I have the 75-inch version here, which looks incredible. So I've teamed up with LG, who very kindly sent this TV over for me to have a play with, and I want to walk you through what it can do. And it packs in all the bells and whistles. We're talking 4K, obviously, HDMI 2.1, 120Hz refresh rates, Dolby Vision IQ, HDR10, we get the latest A7 Gen 5 AI processor. There's two of me now. But the best part of this is it combines LG's QNED technology, aka their quantum dot nanocell color technology, which helps to boost brightness and color, and the mini LED backlighting, which means you get much better precision dimming, better contrast, and less blooming. Now, of course, this does lack the infinite contrast of an OLED, but the higher brightness we get here makes it better suited if you're watching it in a brighter room or you watch lots of sports. I still can't quite believe we have a World Cup in November. It's like a few weeks away. It just doesn't feel right, you know? And also, the 120Hz high refresh support is ideal if you're into your games. I've got my PS5 hooked up right now, and while this still can't quite match the OLED's response time or input lag, it's still very good, and gaming on this is a great experience. And also, if you prefer to stream your games, we also get NVIDIA's GeForce Now built in. Now for context, the QNED 86 is LG's upper mid-range mini LED nanocell QNED TV. You've got the QNED 91 above it, and also you've got other OLED flagships, so it does miss out on a couple of features, like we get precision dimming rather than precision dimming pro. The design's a little bit thicker, although not significantly. We don't get hands-free voice control, and it doesn't have quite the same color accuracy, but this is more affordable. And if you want a giant TV that's bright, great for gaming and watching sports, this could be worth considering. So the QNED 86 comes in four sizes: 55, 65, 75, which I have here, and a whopping 86 inches. And you can either mount it on this curved stand, just make sure your TV stand is wide enough, or you can wall mount it. And it's using what's called an ADS panel, which is a variant of IPS and basically gives us great viewing angles and solid contrast. The mini LED backlight does boost brightness over regular IPS LCDs, and we also get better than average screen uniformity, helped in part by that precision dimming, although in very high contrast scenes, or maybe say if you bring up the volume control with a dark background, you can still see some localized blooming. Now, I am very happy to report that the new Alpha 7 Gen 5 AI processor is a lot faster than before. I use the LG G1 OLED TV in my main living room, which I love, but it comes with the Gen 4 processor, and when LG updated their WebOS homepage to this full screen dashboard last year, it did feel a bit slow. Now, the good news is that recent updates have made it quite a bit faster on my G1, but even better, the QNED 86 with its Gen 5 chip and the latest WebOS 22 software is noticeably snappier. And it's also a great chip for image processing and upscaling to 4K. And naturally, we get LG's thin Q support, so from the home dashboard, you can basically use this TV to control all your smart home tech. There's all the usual suspects for streaming apps. We get Disney+, Netflix, Prime Video, YouTube, and in most regions we get Apple TV as well, although I imagine most of the time you'll be jumping into a bit of YouTube and catching up with the latest Tech Chat videos. What else would you be watching? We also get Apple AirPlay 2 and Google Cast built in, which is handy, plus both Amazon and Google's voice assistants. And there's also a couple of new features here, including Multi-View, which lets you view two sources at once. As usual, LG bundled the TV with their fantastic Magic Remote. I still think this is the best, maybe not the most premium, but the most useful remote you can get with any TV. And if you do dive into the settings menus, there's a ton of options for you to play with. Although generally when it comes to picture modes, I go with Expert Bright as standard, but helpfully the TV will automatically switch to HDR, Filmmaker, and Game modes depending on what's playing. And most of the time if I'm watching movies, it'll switch to Filmmaker mode, which is very well calibrated out of the box, and the best option if you want that proper cinema experience. Now, as for gaming, we get ALLM support, or auto low latency mode, via the HDMI 2.1 port. So if you boot up your PS5 or your Xbox Series X, it'll automatically switch to game mode and turn off pretty much all those background processes to give you the fastest response time possible. We do also get variable refresh rates in the form of HDMI VRR via 2.1 ports, and also AMD's FreeSync Premium, although there isn't any NVIDIA G-Sync unfortunately. What you can do though is bring up the game bar, and that'll tell you what kind of modes are being used, and also if you want, there are specific picture profiles for certain types of games, like FPS raises the shadows, making it easier to see the bad guys hiding in dark corners. I'll tell you what did surprise me though, the speakers on this, because generally integrated built-in speakers are a bit rubbish, but we actually get a 40-watt sound system in here, and 20 watts of those are for the dedicated subwoofer. So the sound is a lot fuller and bassier than your average TV, although considering the price and the quality of this TV, I would still recommend a good external speaker or soundbar. Just make sure you do use the HDMI with eARC support. So that's the LG QNED 86, and if you do want a big, bright TV with fantastic viewing angles, good color accuracy, solid gaming specs, then you can't go wrong with this. Now the bigger you go, the pricier it does get, but actually LG has some fantastic deals if you head over to LG.com, I'll leave a link below, and also they have some pretty big discounts around Black Friday as well, so keep an eye out for that. But what about you? What TV are you using right now? And if you are thinking about upgrading, what model do you have in mind? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more from me, a like and subscribe would be very much appreciated, and I will see you next time right here on the Tech Chat.